Hey, so welcome to day 2 of Women in Agile Africa 2.0. And now I will leave the floor to my colleague Nadia to give the speech as the chairperson of our conference today. Nadia, absolutely not putting you on the spot. Please,
No.
go on.
Yes, Fanny. Good morning to everybody, everyone watching us, following us, and our different channels, and here in the Zoom. Good morning, dear speakers. I welcome everyone to the second day of Women in Agile Africa Conference 2023. Second day, we are still excited. We had a great day yesterday, a long one, but very productive. And we expect to have the same today. So welcome everyone. Try to take the best out of it. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's embark visually. Without any delay, I'll pass the word to Faye Thompson, that will kick up the session of today with the Launch New Voice program from WeAre.org. So let's see it. Enjoy and welcome. Faye, over to you.
Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. It's morning here in the United States, but I know it's afternoon for all of you, or many of our audience today. So thank you for joining our session, Launching New Voices. We're going to talk a little bit about the program to begin with. This is a program that's near and dear to mine and Jenny's hearts. We love this program. We love all the new voices we get to meet along the way. So thank you all for joining us in our latest installment. Before we go any further, I would like to remind everybody, as part of a Women in Agile program, we do have a code of conduct that we ask everyone to follow. So we just want to make sure that we have a respectful and safe and inclusive environment for everyone. So if you're here, you're agreeing to abide by this code of conduct. And if anybody witnesses any behavior that they feel doesn't meet this code of conduct, feel free to reach out at either that Slack channel, LNB Conference Help, or email conduct@womeninagile.org, and we can assist you in sorting through that situation. So thanks, everybody. I want to also introduce our Launching New Voices program team. So the people who keep this running throughout the year. This year, we're supporting 5 different conferences. So we have Dio, Amelia, and Jenny and I are here this morning. It is, I think it's 3 a.m. for Amelia right now. So she'll be watching the recorded version later on. But yeah, like I said, we support this year, I believe we supported 5 conferences. I think this means we're launching about 15 new voices in 2023. So really excited about all the progress that we've made this year. Jenny, you want to take it over?
We are lucky this year, Launching New Voices, is to have a sponsor. And we are very grateful for our LNV sponsor, Helping Improve, which is led by Allison Pollard, Jake Calabrese, and Paul Tevis. In addition to being our official sponsor, they have been amazing supporters of Women in Agile in general, and Launching New Voices in particular for many years. They have taken turns as mentors. They've mentored 4 of our proteges. They've created a guide for new speakers that's hosted on the womeninagile.org website, and even stepped in to MC an event during a COVID emergency when folks were kind of locked in their hotel rooms, unable to go to the stage to introduce the proteges at one of the conferences a couple of years back. It is undeniable that they are dedicated to our community. So let me tell you a little bit about Helping Improve. Most of our organization's problems require engaging your people to collaborate. Sometimes teams and leaders don't have the know-how and skills to do that effectively. Now they have Helping Improve as a training and consulting partner. Helping Improve helps people who are striving to lead amazing people, manage amazing people, and be amazing people. I'd like to tell you where this idea of launching new voices came from. Starts back in, for me, at Agile 2015. It was the first Agile conference at all that I had gone to, and I was just enthralled. It was an amazing experience. I learned so much from the folks that were up on stage sharing their stories. And I was like, how do you do that? I want to do that one day. And so another person, first-time attendee, Billy Schutzpeltz, and I were talking about that at lunch one day, and we had big dreams about how we would speak on stage. And then Lisa Atkins and Natalie Warner had a listening session over lunch that week on a Thursday. And again, Billy and I are dreaming big about how we're going to get on stage, but we don't know how to do that. So maybe we're going to like figure out how to get on stage and then help other people do that. And then we went home, and like a lot of good ideas, that idea stayed dormant for a few years until we found ourselves on the Women in Agile conference committee, planning committee. And so we said, let's do that thing we were talking about. So we planned a session for the Women in Agile conference in 2017, where we were going to, I don't know, maybe workshops, conference submissions, or have experienced speakers kind of tell us how they got started. And we were kind of running through that, and it sounded kind of boring and kind of dry. And then all of a sudden we thought about it and said, or wait, why don't we just give that stage to new speakers? And so the idea was to have new proteges paired with an experienced mentor that would prepare them for a 7-minute talk at the Women in Agile conference. So that was in 2017. We've done that every year since at that conference, and many other conferences like this one, Women in Agile Africa, and have launched a lot of new voices. Some of those new voices have gone on to actually have speaking careers. Several of them have joined our organizing committee. And I always think when I see those new voices on conference programs. So speaking of new voices, the mentors for this time are Faye and I. Faye and I Faye's mentored a couple of times. This is my first time to have that honor. So we each were meeting with the proteges prior to this conference and kind of getting them ready. We'll hear today from Sabrina Mazzola and Faith Banganco. So we'll get started with Sabrina, who's going to tell us about Somewhere Only We Know, how to find your space belonging in IT with a diversity sensitive approach. As we're transitioning screens here, let me tell you a little bit about Sabrina. She is a passionate journalist who helps to establish workflows, products, and ideas. She focuses a lot on diversity, and in fact is a Scrum Master and diversity manager. In the short period of time that I've gotten to know Sabrina, I am just absolutely amazed with her confidence. And she has taught me to look at things in new ways and realize that different folks have different needs. So join me in welcoming Sabrina to the stage.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jenny. Thanks a lot for the introduction and welcome from my side. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about Somewhere Only We Know, how to find belonging in IT with diversity. And I'm Sabrina. I'm a journalist, diversity trainer, Scrum Master, hard person, and too much. I was told too disruptive, too creative, too forward thinking, and as you can hear, too loud. And I have many diversity dimensions, like migrational background, first family academic, and many more. But you may ask yourself, why is this topic important? So all of us might rather be discriminated by someone at the workplace and also discriminated someone, sometimes without even knowing it. For example, I had a new job and my boss told me that they would need new ideas, and I started to present how to transform the company, but they thought about Miro versus Mural, right? The collaboration tools, and then not about like transforming the whole department. And yeah, that's some way of the many ways that where I got rejected. So I would give you 5 tips for diversity and belonging in IT, and I would like to do that with Kian. It's a UK band, and they have a song. It's called "Somewhere Only We Know." And also, I would like to ask you: do you remember a time where you felt excluded? Maybe at work. And do you remember how that feels like? And I will show you some strategies to foster inclusion for yourself and for others to, reduce this feeling a bit. Tip number 1, the manual. I walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the earth beneath my feet, sat by the river, and it made me complete, the song says. So the people manual is an invention from a colleague of mine called Franziska Haug. And you can rather like print it in the hallmark of your company or put it on your Google Drive or OneDrive. And it says, how would I describe myself? What is important to me? What are my interests? What do I expect of others? And what do I need to thrive, right? Because this is really important, and this actually does normalize needs, because if you have special needs of any kind, right, then you might feel bad to go to others and say, oh, I need this, I need that. And if everyone talks about needs, this get normalized. Tip number 2, be a believer and don't make assumptions. Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? The best accommodation, Julie Harris says, you can give a disabled or non-neurodivergent person is to believe them, their needs, their diagnosis, their capabilities, their experiences, and don't ask, oh, I'm sure it's not bad if you can still work, or you don't look disabled, right? So look on the picture here on the right? Listen to the voice inside of you. You'll be okay. I believe in you. So try to be the tea bag in someone else's cup. Tip number 3, don't be mean, right? Sounds maybe very simple, but it isn't. So why don't we go somewhere only we know, right? You see the world as you are, as you see it here with our nice rhino, right? Everywhere it looks, it sees the way as he or she is, right? So workplace ableism, I did it, why can't you? You don't like, you have, and so on. This isn't how we do things here. If I allow that for you, I will have it allow that for everyone. This also happened to me, right? At my workplace, I wrote emails at night to answer them because it was a time that fit good for me, right? And then I got trouble with my boss because they said, oh, if we allow that to you, we should allow that to everyone, and other people might be pressured to answer emails at night as well. Yeah, you need to have thicker skin. You need to be knowing to do more. Maybe, yeah, you also heard this painful phrases as well. Tip number 3, talk about belonging. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. Maybe you know this feeling on the right? I was used to you being around when you left. It felt like you took everything with you. Just this feeling again of feeling excluded in the workplace. So what can you do? You can have a discussion with your colleagues and ask, can you bring your authentic self to the workplace? Can you share diverse thoughts? Do you feel connected to each other? Does everyone have a fair chance to become a leader? Do you have social or community platforms where you can connect? How anonymous are you in your work? And do you have metrics or methods to measure belonging? Tip number 4, offer and ask for help. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. So where could you begin, right? Such a big topic. So you can just offer help when you can give help, and you can say, I need help if you need something. Because if you ask yourself, like the whale, do I really make a difference? think of the turtle and the rainbow. So you make a difference. If you think of the majority of autistic people feel unable to ask for accommodations at work. And only 2% of employees actively reach out to ask what accommodations an autistic person needs. Right? So, tip number 5, choose one concrete action. Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? The song asks, so what can you do? Educate yourself about others' experiences and show empathy. Use respectful language. Run inclusive meetings. Stop interruptions. Give honest credit. Interrupt microaggressions. And feel free to admit mistakes openly. And if you are a croc, like our croc here, and you have a colleague that is a mouse, just take measurements to make the small mouse visible on your head and say, hey, this is my colleague, the mouse, and she's really great. And if it says, oh, do not accept if seal is broken, take every seal out of the box, right? And say, whatever they say, we accept you the way you are. So you got some strategies, right? How to make a workplace more inclusive. And let's create a workplace somewhere only we know. And here you have some more possibilities how to support others. And yeah, I would like to thank you. And thanks for the moment we just shared together.
Thank you, Sabrina.
That was fantastic. Yeah, thank you, Sabrina, for sharing your experiences and then also giving us some concrete ways that we can hopefully make the workplace even just a little bit better for all of our colleagues. I appreciate that. So next up, we have Faith Bogonko, who has been a lot of fun to get to know as we're preparing for this. Faith also has a is very driven toward improving the environments in which she and her colleagues are working, and is really passionate about doing whatever she can to support them as they are finding new ways of working. So I'm excited about her sharing her story, which I think many of us are going to recognize. We've probably all walked into some context or some environment that's similar to what Faith was working in, and she's going to share with us some of her experiences about how she worked with the people there and they found a way through. So Faith, take it away.
Thank you, Faye, for that introduction. Yes, my name is Faith, an Agile coach here in Kenya. In my Agile coaching career, I've had a privilege to work with both technical and non-technical teams. Some of the non-technical teams are like research and marketing, hospitality, customer care, education. So one of the most common sentiments that I come across while working with non-technical teams is Agile does not fit our context. So this prompts the question, what is really their context? And how can we as Agile leaders give this approach to these people so that they don't feel like they don't fit in the context. So I'm gonna take you to a little journey of my experience with one of the non-technical teams that I supported a year ago. And we're going to look at some of the challenges that I had and some of the approaches that I tried to apply in order to bring about a natural Agile transformation. So yeah, this is me. I was a happy girl when I got a chance to get to coach this team with one of the biggest companies here in Kenya. I was so happy, and the outgoing coach to this team handed over, and she gave me a little piece of advice. She told me, Faith, remember you can call me if you have any problem apart from that team's problems. So, that was an intriguing start of my journey. And let me tell you how my first few weeks looked like it was really a whirlwind of emotions, because just a moment, I move the screen. Good. So here's the thing. If a team doesn't see a place for Agile in their context, they may do so many things. They may either pretend to use Agile methods to get you off their neck. And if you keep on pestering, they probably might ignore you or block you out, or just tell it to your face. Agile does not fit here. So I remember some of the meetings I was told, Faith, you can please leave us. And I was really frustrated. And from that frustration, I mean, just saying, as Agile coaches, sometimes we go through a lot. And you need someone, at least at that time, to talk to. And I called my lead. I remember venting to her like 1 hour. I don't really remember what she told me, because I think I was just too frustrated. But after the call, I really calmed down, and you know, that gave me a chance to start reflecting and ask myself, how does Agile not fit in their context, you know? So from there, I was still frustrated. I was still feeling rejected, as Sabrina has said, and lost. But I gathered some courage and decided, let me reintroduce myself to the team. So I made a request. I requested them that I would like to have work immersion sessions so that I can get to understand their world better. So surprisingly, they invited me to these work immersion sessions, and we would talk about what they do and even much more, because some of the other concerns of the team was like, they don't want to change their roles. Perhaps Agile has come to change some of their roles. They also didn't think that Scrum would fit into their way of thinking. Some of the other questions they had, like, do we have any such team in Africa that has gone Agile like us? You know, I'll be honest with you, I didn't have all these answers to this team, but just being there and listening to them actually made us connect more than our professional facades. So with that connection, I really discovered that this team really wanted all the benefits that Agile could offer. They wanted to have business value. They wanted to prioritize customers. They wanted continuous feedback. And did they know that Agile would offer this? I don't know. But I think this was a moment for me to now handshake, because what I really cared about and what this team cared about was like the same thing. So this was my, you know, that moment of saying, yeah, by the way, what you care about, this Agile can also offer you this. So from here, how did this go? Once I knew that these people have the same value that they're chasing, we agreed to pursue evolutionary change. Okay. There's this quote from Peter that says, people don't resist change, they resist being changed. Okay. So with that in mind, how do you bring change that is not revolutionary to a team that has resistance? So we agreed that we are going to pursue few changes, and I'll tell you for sure, we were not successful, at least not at all times. I'll talk about some of the successes that we had with the team, having that collaborative sessions together with the agents, together with all the people that are involved. That I think was a plus for us. Finding a combination of, you know, Scrum, Kanban, Lean, that really suited our context, and having review sessions that were really regular. Yeah, I'll talk about these failures. Yeah, I remember at one time I designed these Kanban boards across around functional units, and what I did is, you know, I introduced functional silos. Yeah, and sometimes, you know, not insisting on limiting work in progress made people really overwork. and leaving business as usual work. I was probably focusing more on strategy work, and leaving this also created a lot of work. So in a nutshell, as an Agile leader, I thought this is important to seek to understand the context of the team that you're supporting. Okay, if possible, discover those common values that this team cares about, and that can be a start for you. And agree to pursue evolutionary, not revolutionary change, and embrace failure, because through these failures, we really persevered. Failure, acceptance, it's a culture that we are trying to bring up here in Africa and in Kenya in particular. So we are not yet there, but that perseverance and the teams getting to understand that failure is a placeholder for them for better things. So really, where does your superpower lie as an Agile coach here? It lies in your passion to drive Agile transformations, and also your openness to seek to understand different contexts. So with that, thank you so much for this opportunity. Back to you, Faye.
Yay, thank you so much. That was so wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I hope everybody heard something in there that that sounded familiar to them, and got some examples of what you might take back to your workplace to try and to improve. So thank you so much. Congratulations to our new voices, both Sabrina and Faith. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, everyone.
Yay! Congrats.
And not only congratulations, we would like to welcome you into the Launching New Voices alumni. You're part of an esteemed group of people. Actually, we pop ahead, alumni of our program, like Jenny said, many have gone on to, I think nearly everyone in our alumni program has gone on to speak at other conferences. Some have moved on to almost speaking careers with podcasts and regular YouTube channels. So they really use this as a launching point to get their voice out there and share their stories, because it's how we learn. We learn from others' experiences. And it's always great to hear that others are working through the same problems that we are, and hear what they tried, what we might try to. And also, this program wouldn't be anywhere without the support of our mentors, and you'll see everyone there who's been so gracious with their time to support our new speakers. A little bit of background, which we ask mentors to meet with the proteges ahead of time to hear their stories and help them and craft those and get them ready to tell their audiences. So there's a little bit of commitment. There's involvement on the part of our mentors. If anybody would like to be a mentor, you can reach out to us at I think we have the website on the next screen. Oh, no, next year. We're always looking for new voices and mentors. You'll see we have a couple of other engagements coming up, conferences. The Scrum Gathering Amsterdam is starting, actually starts on Monday. Everyone's arriving tomorrow. And then we'll also be participating in Women in Agile Europe in the Netherlands in November. So those new voices have been selected. They're working with their mentors right now. But if you watch the Women in Agile social media channels, you'll see all of our 2024 opportunities for new voices, for mentors, or for volunteers for Women in Agile. And if you pop ahead, I would also encourage everyone, if you haven't already, if you find your way over to womenagile.org, you can sign up for the newsletter there, and any new opportunities are also announced in the form of a newsletter that will be sent to your email. So if you want to always be aware of the latest opportunities coming up, you can find out about it there. So thank you once again to our proteges. Wonderful jobs, great stories. I just always love hearing everyone's varied experiences. You both did really, really well. As everyone else is enjoying the rest of the conference today, if you see them out and about in the conference virtually, please take a couple minutes to congratulate both Faith and Sabrina on the wonderful job that they did. And thank you to Women in Agile Africa for allowing Launching New Voices to be a part of this. We've really enjoyed working with you, and congratulations on the conference, and good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Faith.
Yeah. And thank you,
And
Women in Agile.
congratulations to Faith and Sabrina. Great thoughts.
Congratulations, welcome. Really, the two sessions were very insightful, and obviously your presentation. Yeah. I'm really happy to see that we are able to really support. It's a place of support. It's a place of mentorship. It's a place of help. I think it is something that we heard a little bit yesterday. A lot of people were asking for help in this Agile space, for help in mentorship. A lot of women actually reach out to us on LinkedIn starting yesterday to be part of this program. So I'm going to say to them again today, please, you have seen it in action. Don't hesitate. Contact us, join us. You have the link. Come and be part of it. We are here to support you. We are here to help. Actually, if I could, I would have joined there, but I'm pretty sure they're going to push me away to say, you're already doing the conference. So, but it will be so useful to be having those people, those mentors, where I recognize even a few of them bringing this impact and bringing this change. So thank you, Women in Agile. Thank you, ladies, for having the strength and the courage to come into this space and share and talk, because we have to recognize what it is. We are talking to strangers. We have to prepare ourselves. We have to move and settle. So thank you for the courage of being here. Thank you for your willingness of wanting to share with other people what you're doing right now. Thank you for Women in Agile for making this space possible, and even making Women in Agile Africa conference possible. So people in the chat, as we usually say, if you have questions, go on. And if you don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can find us. That's the nice thing with our names on LinkedIn. You can watch the replay and take your time and answer us. So thank you. Thank you to you, our speakers, and thank you to the people participating. I will just do the chit chat while people are thinking if they want to talk or not. Our next session normally is in 30 minutes. So right now, if you wish to take a break, take a pause before our next session, or just go to the program and see what's next, please feel free. If we are not talking, the Zoom would be open, but we might keep you in the waiting room if you're not yet there. So don't think it's not working. It's just that there's nothing happening over here. And it will also give us some breather. So thank you as usual. You were great yesterday. You're great today. Okay, so in the chat, congratulations, well done. Yeah, happy. So I think we can officially